It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. Starting off with our top story of the day, talking about greater West Bloomfield residents having the option to get a great walk-in at plenty different places, starting at the trails, your own sidewalk, and our beautiful parks, in some very unique places to say the least. But one group in West Bloomfield Township is taking every step every day to make connections along their journey. And Civic Center TV reporter Tyler Keefe has a story.
Some of West Bloomfield High School's most beloved athletes aren't senior students, but rather senior citizens who have spent years in these halls getting good exercise and spending quality time building a community. For over 40 years, these gentlemen have taken their daily walks together at West Bloomfield High, making it a priority to keep them fit and keep them connected to their friends.
Well, being together, it is important. And we are joining together and we are communicating together. So it is a friendship.
Part of it is just so we have people to talk to and keep that going. And we make an effort to do that because it is encouragement.
I look forward to it. I've known these guys for a long time. And as long as we are able physically to get here, I continue to be looking forward to it.
The Walkers have also become a beloved part of the high school community, drawing the love and admiration of Laker Nation.
We've welcomed our Walkers in our building for much longer than I've been here, and their interactions with our community, our staff, our students have always been positive. They're really a fabric of what we do here in the school.
We have a bond now. We have a relationship with each other. It's great. Every time they come, hi Rita. This, that, spark conversation. It's awesome just to interact with them guys every day.
I appreciate the fact that we are able to get into the school. We also spend some time talking to the teachers, the custodians. We see people like you, like we've talked to you, and so you get a smile and talk.
The school is a good place, and people are nice, and the exercise is beneficial to me and to them as well, and I think all of us enjoy doing it.
These friendships have extended beyond their up to 6 days per week trek around this school. Not just a group, but more of an extended family that cares for one another.
It is important when we have a problem, we can get help from anyone, and this is very important, especially that we are getting older.
Just getting the information from each other about what activities we've had and how things are going with our lives, and discuss it either from a humorous point of view or a serious point.
Their relationships and their positive attitude provides a sense of inspiration, both to each other and to their beloved Laker community.
I would love to see this continue for as long as our school is upright. Whether it's them or new friends that join them, and to keep it open for our community.
Just keep up the good work. Don't stop. No, don't stop.
There are so many amazing places to take your daily walk here in Greater West Bloomfield, and, well, those places become even more special when you're joined by good people, step by step. At West Bloomfield High School, I'm Tyler Keefe, Civic Center TV.
Great story, Tyler. That was a very inspiring story for our local community and from our local community about friendship, dedication, and teamwork in general. And by the way, if you or someone you know around the greater West Bloomfield area has an interesting story you think we should share right here on Civic Center TV, why don't you go ahead and let us know. Go to our website, civiccentertv.com, and just go ahead and let us know your interesting story. If you are looking for a good book to get you through the holidays this season, look no further than the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Their used book sale is back beginning Friday, November 29th from 7 to 9 p.m. That's for the Friends of the Library members, by the way. Then it opens up. The open sale continues Saturday, November 30th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Sunday, December 1st, can't believe we're saying December already, noon to 3 p.m., where you can also fill an entire bag full of books for just $3. Can't beat that, right? Help them clear out the shelves and the room to make room for new books for 2025. And you can find some good books for yourself and for others this holiday season. Find out more about what they have going on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library at West Bloom LIB on Facebook. Since we know we are approaching the holidays, that means cooler temperatures are basically already here to stay, which means snowy weather is on its way as well. Now is the perfect time for you to sign up for that Oak Alert and Nixle app. Both very, very important. Get the official information on severe weather and other emergencies based on the community that you live in. It is a free notification system that shares official information on threats, disasters, evacuation notices, and other emergencies. Worst case scenario, we want to all know about those at the same time. So you can sign up for Oak Alert, the alert system for Oakland County. Just text Oak Alert, OAKALERT, to 99411, or go directly to the website oakgov.com/alert. And pretty much the same thing for Nixle. You want to sign up for Nixle, just go to Nixle, NIXLE.com to sign up for Nixle. And as you are traveling for the holiday season, just keep in mind it will be very, very busy. So keep other motorists in mind as well. More people will be out on the roads in these upcoming days, so please also watch out for emergency vehicles who are likely responding to oncoming emergencies and things of that nature. Listen, I can't stress this enough. Being here, I see vehicles still driving when emergency vehicles are driving past. Please pull over. Michigan has a move over law. That means if you see a vehicle over on the shoulder, slow down and move over for those stationary vehicles, especially if they're an emergency vehicle with some type of sirens, lights, the police, or fire department. So keep that in mind, move over a lane, and slow down 10 miles per hour at the least if you can. That's so that we can all go back home safely this holiday season. We can talk to you and not about you. West Bloomfield families got a chance to enjoy some quality time together right before the holidays. It was a 2024 High Tops and High Heels Mother and Son Dance, a chance for mothers and mother figures to enjoy a special night out with their sons. Our very own Civic Center TV reporter Jake Schaff has a story.
With the holidays right around the corner, family time is one of the most important focal points of the season. And recently, West Bloomfield Parks put on the High Tops and High Heels event, inviting moms from all across the community to spend some time and dance the night away with their sons. I spoke with some of the moms of the community at this event and heard what they have to say about what this event means to them and what this quality time means for their relationship with their little boys.
Oh, I think it's so cute. I think it's a really cool outlet for moms and sons to kind of have a bonding experience and have a good time. So I think it's great. He's over the moon. He's like ecstatic that it's just me and him because I have 4 kids. So it's a lot going on in the house, and my husband and I are always kind of tackling and tag teaming the kids. But when it's just me and him, he's very excited.
What made you decide to want to come out here tonight?
We've been doing this for a few years now and just like to come out and make memories with them. We've been enjoying ourselves, coming out dancing, meeting new families. So it's something that we look forward to. I tell people about these types of events all the time and recommend something like this every year.
Oh, it's a fun time just to get out, the two of us, and just enjoy an evening, have a nice dinner and dance and show off Alexander's dance moves. He loves it. They had balloons this evening, and I mean, he loves to dance at home, so he was very excited for tonight. It really is a nice event because it does prioritize that family time, and fun's the most important thing, getting out and just enjoying time with the kids. So
What does an event like this mean to you and mean to the community?
I think it's fun to get all together with a bunch of different people that maybe you don't know. They don't go to your school. They don't live in quite your neighborhood, but you all have boys and you all like to dance and eat and get together and have fun.
How did this event come about?
I would say for the past 7 years or so, we've been incorporating mother-son dances along with daddy-daughter dances to West Bloomfield Parks in order to get the families an equal opportunity to have a special evening out with their little ones. I think this event allows for moms and sons to really take the pressure off of the holiday season and enjoy just a special evening together out and about, where they can get a professional portrait taken and enjoy the photo booth and just really create memories that aren't so holiday focused.
I think they're a great idea because for he and I, it's about tradition. So building traditions year after year so that when he's 18 and he's leaving me to go away to college, he can look back and say, me and my mom always had a special time for just being her. And it was dances, it was parties, it was different events, so it's great.
And what would you say to families who are interested in checking out this event for themselves?
Oh, I think it's a great experience for moms and sons to kind of bond, to have that one event throughout the year that they have to look forward to that is just about them too. It's great.
It's a beautiful thing to see all across the community as so many local residents are making countless memories with their families and treasuring them for a lifetime. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Great story, Jay. As I'm watching that, I'm almost tearing up, man. Beautiful to see the relationship and the bond between a mother and a son right there. You can see all of the pictures from that event. Keep up with other events that West Bloomfield Parks are planning for the future. That way you don't miss out on it. Go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/WB Parks for more on that, man. What a great event that was. West Bloomfield Township Public Library hosting its first ever Shop Small Saturday event. That'll actually be this Saturday, November 30th. So joining us right here live on The Splash to give out more details about that unique event, we have Community Engagement Librarian for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Emily Tobin. Thank you for being here, Emily.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely. So going straight into it, this event, I held off from giving the details. I want you to tell everybody the details of this event, please.
So we are going to have our very first Shop Small Saturday event, and it will take place on Shop Small Saturday, which is traditionally the Saturday after Thanksgiving for small businesses to get some recognition after that huge Black Friday event. So it will be Saturday, November 30th at the main branch of the library from noon to 4 p.m. In our main meeting room, and it will probably also be in our community commons room, which we have newly opened because we have that many vendors for the community to come and check out.
Nice. That's good news then. So let's get into the inspiration of this. What inspired the talks to even have this event at the library?
So other libraries do have similar things. The closest one to us is Novi. They have been doing a small business event for a couple of years, and I have a close librarian friend in Baltimore who does one at several of her branches. But I like to do different things and involve the community. I mean, I guess that's part of my title, but I like to bring people into the building, especially people that may have not been here in a while, so that they can see what else we offer and that we're doing things that are not just books, right. That we are a place that is, relevant in the community. So I thought this would be a great opportunity. I love to craft myself. So I thought I would support local businesses this way.
I like that. And as you gave more context to it, you having friends who work for libraries in different markets, you can kind of pull from those ideas. Oh, okay, that sounds good. Let's try something like that here. So I want to get into that a little bit more. But with us right here live on The Splash from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Librarian Emily Tobin, talking about their Shop Small event coming up November 30th, by the way. How do you feel the library's role, or what do you feel the library's role is in supporting local artisans and small businesses in the community?
So this building, the library, we're here to support the community in any way that we can.
Okay.
So for small businesses, we want to try to open our doors and give them a way to showcase what they do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people can't afford, to be part of a big fair. They may not be able to afford the booth fee.
Good point.
They may be just getting started and not know, what to do yet. And this is a good way to dip their feet in the water. The library is a great, welcoming, supportive place. So it's a good way to just try something new.
No, and I agree, and I'm glad you asked that, because essentially I asked that question because you don't really, like I said, I don't think this is too common that we're seeing this in every library, that they're supporting local businesses. So this is kind of a unique event. So I'm like, how does this tie in with the role and the mission of the library? And you made the connection right there. I 100% agree, as someone who has had a small business himself. Like, yeah, sometimes you don't have those opportunities to go to the big trade shows to showcase. You need these smaller opportunities, especially if you're just starting. So thank you for providing that context. Have you been getting any response from the vendors or the community about this event leading up to it?
Yep. So we had over 30 vendors apply, which is, I think, great for a first time event here. And we selected 15 vendors because our space is so small. I would like to have everybody, obviously, come and be able to showcase what they do.
Right.
But we have 15 local vendors, so they are from the state of Michigan, and most importantly, they're in our community. So we have a lot of people that will be here on Saturday, with a variety of different things that they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And the community has also been very responsive. We're starting this week on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook event through our library page, and we're starting to showcase different items that people will be selling, so different works of the artist. So we have lots of pictures forthcoming of what you will be able to see.
Okay. So just paint the picture for our listeners on 89.3 Lakes FM. What type of things can we expect at this event?
So we have a big variety. So we have soaps, handmade soaps. We have jewelry. We have recycled birdhouses. We have ceramics. There are handmade pens. There will be a local chocolatier. We have diamond painting, watercolors, all kinds of things.
As soon as you said chocolatier, Emily, I was locked in. I was locked in at that point. I love that. My sweet tooth got to speaking. I love that. But with us right here live on the Splash, West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Librarian Emily Tobin, talking about their Shop Small event happening this month, November 30th. Just a couple questions before we let you leave. What do you want people to take away from attending this event? What impact do you expect to have on residents that come to the library for this?
I want them to see, number one, what all of the talented people in their community do.
Mm-hmm.
They can keep their dollars in the community and support these people, and what their library is doing. That we're not just a place that houses books, but that there's all kinds of things going on. When people come in the building, they can pick up a program guide and see that we have programs for all ages all year round.
Yes, great point. See, because the library, like we said, there's so many different resources at our local library, and for this to be an addition to that, I just think we all should be more in touch with what's going on at the library, and we're happy to be a channel for that also. One last thing, Emily, do you see this becoming an annual event, a frequent event, and what would it take for that to actually happen?
I sure hope that it's going to be an annual event.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of support through the art sale community in Kego Harbor. They do like an event with their block parties on Fridays in the summer. So they have like a little art fair, and there are a couple of the art sale vendors in this Shop Small event. But I really do hope that we can do this every Shop Small Saturday and get new people in here, and that we can grow this event.
I agree with that. And for our audience and watchers who may have just joined us, please give us the details of this upcoming Shop Small event with the West Bloomfield Township Library, please.
So it will be Saturday, November 30th from 12 to 4 p.m. at the main branch of the library in our meeting room and community commons space.
Thank you again from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Library, Emily Tobin. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
A great event we should all look forward to this weekend in our West Bloomfield community to support local artisans, creators, and business owners who could be your neighbors. Find out more about that on their website, wblib.org, for more information. Great information. Hey, how about this? Did you know that there is a West Bloomfield-based production company that makes a nationally televised TV show? It's actually called The Basquatch Hunter, and the host of the show is from here, West Bloomfield. He actually recorded a new episode that's going to be coming out soon, so join us right here live on The Splash to give us a little bit of insight behind this new episode. We have host of The Basquatch Hunter and author of The Adventures of Sasquatch, Mike McKinstry. Thank you for being here, Mike.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Man, doing just fine, man. I was doing some social media scrolling and came across your page and saw that you just went on an adventure recently, traveling to Atlanta and actually met with the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, Dylan Lee. Just talk about how that collaboration came about, please.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for going on my socials. That's where I kind of post all of my behind-the-scenes stuff and the action stuff, so I appreciate you going there. Yeah, this one was actually different. Usually when I plan episodes, it's a pretty big process of, brainstorming and, writing and coming up with ideas, reaching out to people. This one was exactly the way it should be. We had a mutual friend in the fishing world, and they said, hey, you two need to meet. And that's how it started. And we ended up flying down there and having an absolute blast.
That is pretty cool, too. See, one thing I know about your show, if I'm not mistaken, is you pretty much, if people aren't familiar with it, kayak fishing, you introduced them to kayak fishing. But if I'm not mistaken, he was already familiar with it. So just talk about the overall, what you learned from Dylan Lee and what you all talked about. Give a little bit of information if the episode isn't out already.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the episode's going to air next summer, actually. I think mid-August. It'll air on Discovery Channel and then online, streaming everywhere. But yeah, this episode was fun because he's one of two guests our entire season who actually have kayak fished before, let alone fished before. Most of our guests have never held a fishing pole. So in our show, we get to capture their first experience, not only how to fish, but catching their first fish. And in this one, it was, I actually liked it a little bit. It was a little bit different because I didn't have to teach him how to do anything. I had to teach him how to use the kayak a little bit because he wasn't familiar with this kayak. Right. He's never been in a pedal drive kayak. So there was some differences. But we got to hang out and just talk, and, we felt like we were old friends that just haven't seen each other in a while, and that's what fishing does. And we just hung out and talked for 5 or 6 hours, caught some great fish, and got to learn a whole lot, not just about fishing this time, but about each other and our paths and our journeys. And it was an incredible episode.
Right. That's actually pretty... I wasn't expecting that, like him to be as experienced with fishing and doing things like that. So to the point where you really didn't have to teach him or tell him anything. That's very unique, especially with him being a professional athlete. So I would imagine from some of the pictures that I saw on your Instagram that you actually went to his field of play also. What were some things that you learned from Dylan Lee as well?
Yeah, so it's funny, after every episode is done filming, the guest or someone involved in the production always asks me, what was your favorite episode you filmed so far? And it's funny because I always have the same answer where I'm like, I don't know, they're all amazing. But this one, at the end of this one, I just stood around and I looked around the field and I was like, you know what, I think this is my favorite one because it was so grand and so incredible. Like, we got to have full access to the field at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, and if anybody's ever been a fan of baseball, you know how protected that grass is. It's so sacred. It's so tough to be able to walk on it, let alone work on it. And I got to hit some baseballs. I hit over 100 baseballs, actually, up to 75-mile-an-hour fastballs and sliders I was hitting. Hitting out to outfield was incredible. Got to throw pitchers from the mound. Again, we got to just hang out and talk and just have amazing conversations. And, one of the coolest things happened, too. I actually brought it out here with me, but check this out.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, they made me a custom official Atlanta Braves member for the day. So
I
couldn't pass that up either. So it was a blast. It was so much fun. And, I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world, but something about being in that atmosphere turns you into a kid all over again. And, there was a lot of groups of kids there doing tours and going crazy that they saw a professional baseball player on the field. And he stopped to sign some autographs and take pictures. And it kind of brought it all full circle where I was like, man, like, how many people dream about doing this? And it was just such a great moment. It wasn't one of my favorite episodes because of baseball in general. It was just the overall energy. It was incredible.
Wow. And I appreciate you for elaborating on that. I saw the picture. I saw the long caption with you standing on the field, Truist Field. And I almost kind of felt the same thing. I was like, wow, I know that type of feeling, man. I know that. But with us right here live on The Splash, host of The Basquatch Hunter and author of The Adventures of Sasquatch, we have Mike McKinstry on talking about his latest episodes that are due to come out very, very soon. And also locally based West Bloomfield, Basquatch Productions LLC, based in West Bloomfield. We love to have him on and talk about it. Don't want to hold you up too much longer. I want to elaborate a little bit on that moment of you just taking that time, right, in silence and reflection. Tell me why that's so important, especially for someone like you who has a very, very busy schedule, reflecting on that feeling of being a kid and everything that, got you to this point right now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, too, because with that jersey, it all brought it, like, we had a moment of downtime when we were filming. We were doing interviews with Dylan on the other side of the field, actually in the bullpen, which is in the very back of the outfield. And I had to go walk over to the dugout to go pick up something, which is a lot further than you think, too. That's a huge. It really puts it in perspective when you're walking it. And I was like, man, this is so big. And I don't know what it was, but like the smell of the grass and the breeze and the wind and just looking around and wearing a Braves jersey and, seeing all the kids in the stands that are waving and stuff that are trying to like just get a glimpse of the field. I had a weird moment where I sat down in the dugout for about 15 minutes, took some deep breaths and just looked around, and I walked out of the dugout and just felt the energy of being a player for a minute, of just what it would feel like to walk out of that dugout with the crowd staring at you. And then I walked across the entire field, the infield, the outfield. And I had a moment of reflection I normally don't get to have. It's very rare in the show we get to sit still. And I'm not the type of person that likes to sit still in general, but we never really have downtime to like absorb things. And I had a moment in the field where it was so deep, and it was emotional. It was intimate. It was incredible. And it just really made me realize not only how lucky I am, but how much hard work it took me to get there. And there was hundreds of kids walking around the concourse up top, and they were all on tourism groups and stuff. And I was just like, man, like if any of those kids just knew that all they have to do is dream, and all they have to do is just persevere and not give up and just overcome obstacles. If they knew at that age, if I knew at that age even, that you could be on that field like they're dreaming about, they're looking down, they're dreaming about being on that field. And it's like, you could do that. And the fact that I get to sit there for a minute and absorb that and realize that I get to do that. And, I even reflected on other episodes and other things I've done. And, we've filmed with a lot of amazing guests this year, like some professional athletes that I've just dreamt about. And it was one of those moments where I was like, man, like I'm lucky, but at the same time, like, I hope people really take away that if you don't give up, then you can do that too. And anything you dream about, no matter what it is, whether it's being the president of the United States, or whether it's being on a baseball field, or whether it's being with NHL players, or whatever it is, I had that moment where I was like, I knew what brought me there.
Yeah.
Like I had a moment of appreciation almost for myself, which is weird because I never have that. And I just sat there and I was like, man, I'm so proud and I'm just so happy. And like my team is amazing. And, dreaming is just so powerful, but having the ambition and the perseverance to actually pursue that dream, like that's where the real power is. And I got to feel that. It was incredible.
And I know it's very inspiring for a young person or anybody right here in West Bloomfield to hear and hear you say that. But thank you again, Mike, for your time. We appreciate you. Lastly, very, very quickly, tell people how they can catch up with your episodes of The Basquatch Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. So check out BasquatchHunter.com. That's where all of our YouTube videos are parked as well. Also, Discovery Go, Discovery Plus has all of our episodes from this season and last season. And then also, of course, starting in July of 2025, you can watch us on Discovery and Pursuit Channel every Saturday for all of our new episodes. And we have some amazing new stuff. So just Google the word Basquatch on anywhere and you'll find it all on there. But go check it out. And also the book series, which you've also mentioned a couple of times too. The Adventures of Sasquatch, the best Christmas gift ever for kids. It's an amazing children's book series we have. And we have a coloring book we are releasing. It's the first time I've talked about it publicly. but we have a color book we're releasing in a few weeks here as well that you can follow along the adventures too.
Perfect. Once again, host of the Basquatch Hunter and author of The Adventures of Sasquatch, Mike McKinstry, we appreciate your time.
Of course, thank you so much.
We have to support our local producers, creators, and someone like that, Mike McKinstry, who's hosting a nationally televised show, The Basquatch Hunter, available on the Pursuit Channel, Discovery Channel, and YouTube. Find out more at BasquatchHunter.com for more information. Have you heard of Killer's Christmas? It's an actual annual event in Keego Harbor that celebrates the legacy of Tom Kowalski, offering an event filled with festive fun and opportunities to mingle with local celebrities and supporting meaningful causes. With us right here live on The Splash to give out the details behind this event from the Tom Kowalski Foundation, we have Matt Riley. Thank you for being here, Matt.
Oh, Kevin, thank you so much for having me. Really, it means so much for us just to get the word out, man. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, first and foremost, the name alone caught my attention. Killer's Christmas. I'm like, what is going on here? But nonetheless, it is a great charitable event. Gives people opportunity to meet celebrities. Let's just start off. You just give the details of this event, date, time, place, and everything.
Sure. Okay. Killer's Christmas, our 14th annual. It'll be at the Lodge out in Keego Harbor. Starts at, we have a silent auction starting at 4 o'clock. 6 o'clock's when it really kicks off. We have celebrity bartenders, 5 or 6, 7 behind the bar every hour up until midnight and 1 in the morning. Throughout the night, silent auctions. We have 50/50s. We have this thing we call Killer's Cooler, which we raffle off one ticket. It's a marine cooler full of different spirits, wine, booze, some beer. Takes about 2 or 3 people to carry it out. And again, the celebrity bartenders all night at the Lodge. The Lodge has just been phenomenal to us. They let us have the event there. All the tips behind the bar go to the kids. And most of the time, the wait staff turns in their tips as well. They're just incredible. Kelly and the gang at the Lodge do it all.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for providing us that context right there. So with that being said, this has been going on, from my notes, at least 14 years. How has the event evolved over the last 14 years?
Well, truly, it started off it's in honor and memory of our good friend Tom Killer Kowalski, who was a beat writer for the Lions for 30 years. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. Just an incredible. There he is. What a guy! Why I missed that man. And Tom started it out at the Brew House out in Keego. And it was a small event, and he'd have a handful of bartenders back there. Unfortunately, Tom untimely passed away suddenly. And a group of us got together and said, well, we can't let this die with Tom. We started getting it going. We moved it to the Lodge, a little bit of a bigger venue. And through the community and all the support and our incredible volunteers, it's just taken off. And again, we're in our 14th year this year, and it's hard to believe he's been gone that long, but
yeah,
it's been great.
That is so wonderful that you all are honoring his legacy that way and continuing that tradition. I know he'll be very, very proud and happy to even hear that. So with that being said, with this year's event, what makes it unique from the other events, and what are you personally looking forward to?
So every year we try to do a little something different. We're so blessed. I mean, the celebrities, like, hardly anybody ever says no. They're usually just tell me when to be there, what time my shift is. This year, Griffin Claw Brewing has come up. Believe it or not, they approached us, which is just I'm tickled. They created a beer, which Tom was a beer drinker, and they've come up with Killer Kowalski Polish Pilsner, which is going to be available on tap, and we have 4 packs to go as well. And the Griffin Claw has it on tap at their breweries in Rochester Hills and in Birmingham, and a big chunk of the proceeds they're donating to the charity.
Perfect. Everything just sounds like a great night, first and foremost, and I'm already just excited for it to happening in December. With us right here live on The Splash from the Tom Kowalski Foundation, we have Matt Riley talking about the Killers Christmas event happening Friday, December 2nd at the Lodge Grill in Kego Harbor. So continuing on real quick, are there any, you want to talk about the charities? How do the charities supported by the event align with the mission of the foundation?
Absolutely. So, first of all, we are a charity that has nobody on salary or staff. So everything we raise outside of a few printing costs goes to the kids. Tom loved kids. It was just one of the things that made him so amazing. I always say he was a big man with an even bigger heart. And so we have 4 charities that we support, are all children's charities. We have Fueling Kids' Futures, which is West Bloomfield schools. They send backpacks home with kids. I think they provided last year 69,000 weekend meals to over 300 students in the West Bloomfield district. We also have Team Joseph, which is Duchenne muscular dystrophy, the horrible, insidious disease that afflicts young boys all across the country, all across the world, actually. They've been phenomenal with us. We work with them. We also have a Defeat the Label, which is an anti-bullying group for high schools, a local anti-bullying group. And then we have the downtown boxing gym, which is in Detroit, and they have a program called Books Before Boxing. And it's just, I've been down there, I've toured the facility. They're incredible. It's incredible. Kids come there after school, they get a snack, and they get further education. And it's really not boxing. It's almost like a secondary school after they get through with their regular schooling in the city.
Oh, wow. Wow. I love the initiatives that you all are supporting, the charities and the programs. That's very, very interesting. And like you said, it continues to speak to the legacy and you know, the interest that Tom Kowalski had in general. So I want to also ask you about just this event and putting it together in general. You've been doing it for 14 years. There's a lot of moving parts, large-scale fundraiser. Just talk about what it takes to go into fundraising this and what the role that the community plays in the success also.
Kevin, you took my line that I use 5, 10, 15 times a year. People get tired of hearing me saying there are so many moving parts, and there are. It's like a carnival, but it's a great carnival. We have just the most incredible support from the community. We have sponsors who sponsor at different levels. We have our volunteers. I mean, we probably have 15, 20 volunteers on the night of the event. They're just unbelievable. You know, people like the Lodge, people like you, other media who give us a platform, the bartenders. I mean, just, you know, I have to pinch myself how blessed we are. And everybody is like, probably the greatest moment for me is the morning after when I start getting texts from the bartenders saying, how did we do last night? Like they want to know the number. And it's how did we do? Not how did you do or how did we do? And it is, in every sense of the word, it's a team. And the community that comes out, particularly the local area, the Kego, the West Bloomfield, Sylvan Lake, it's just unbelievable. And it's one of the reasons why, as far as I'm concerned, we will never move it out of that area. That's where Tom started it, and that's where we'll always do it. This is our home.
There we go. Perfect, perfect. I appreciate that. I have 2 remaining questions for you real quick. Don't want to hold you up too much. The most important one, for people who want to support the Tom Kowalski Foundation beyond this event, how could they do so?
Okay, well, first of all, at the event, I forgot to add, it's free admission and we have free valet parking because, you know, parking can be an issue there. So we just want everybody in the door, you know, come on in and have a great time. We have a website, killercares.org, and you can go on there, you can donate. We accept, I think it's PayPal and credit cards. There's a donate link. We're always open for sponsors, auction items, anything that people can do. And also just, you know, spreading the word on social media. We post every day, usually every day we'll put up on our social sites a different bartender or like today, this is out there right now that I'm doing this with you. So anybody who can share and pass the word, anybody who wants to donate, God bless you.
And we appreciate that. Lastly, real quick before we let you go, Matt, the details of that event, again, for the people who just joined us about the Killers Christmas, please.
Friday, December 6th, 6 p.m., The lodge in Kego Harbor, free admission, free valet parking, celebrity bartenders all night, silent auctions, 50-50 raffles, killer's cooler, which you need to see to believe, and a whole lot of fun. Throughout the night, we try to keep it, what we always say is, everybody is part of an amazing and a really fun night, but at the same time, you're helping to make a huge difference in so many kids' lives. And if you come out, you're going to get a chance to hear a little bit about that. We don't, dwell on this too much because we want it to be fun.
Yeah.
But Marisa Penrod from Team Joseph will explain, give a little bit of an impact story of where the money goes to and the lives that we've changed by getting, kids vans, changing doing a little construction in their home to build wheelchair ramps, stuff that makes it real, you can wrap your arms around it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all for everything that you are doing. 14 years of success, giving back to the community and charities, and doing it all in honor of Tom Kowalski. Once again, from the Tom Kowalski Foundation, Matt Riley, thank you for your time.
Hey, Kevin, I can't thank you enough. Thank you, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. We love highlighting things like that going on right here in our community, especially as we are already in the holiday season. We're in the season of giving, so we'll continuously keep you updated about that event also. You know how we are in the holiday season officially when you start to drive past the different tree farms around the area. And there is a local tree farm family that has actually been doing this for a few different generations and supplying our community, I should say, with those holiday trees. We'll find out more about that coming up. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hi, I'm Lauren Azuri, the Park Naturalist Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations to you, Civic Center TV, for hitting 1 million views on YouTube. We really appreciate your partnership in spreading nature education in a creative way in our community. I'm Lauren Azuri, proud to be 1 in a million.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. And Tribe and Trees and Landscaping is a family-run business based in Michigan, now in its third generation, who actually operates a retail Christmas tree lot at Orchard Lake Schools, located on the corner of Orchard Lake Road and Commerce in Kego Harbor, Michigan. So with us right here live on The Splash to tell us a little bit more about this, we have owner of Tribe and Trees, Mr. Dan Triben. Thank you for being here, Dan.
It's a pleasure, Kevin. How you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, sir. So
Good.
My research, I'm seeing that you all are based in Sheboygan, Michigan, but you set up a Christmas tree lot in Kego Harbor. Why is it important to set up shop in our local community of Kego Harbor?
Well, we've sold trees. We had 38 years we served in the Farmington Hills location, and it's a kind of funny story. they were going to develop our lot at that location. And the school actually approached me in my last year and asked if I would like to come up and serve the community here with Christmas trees. And I'm more than happy to. So everything worked out for a reason. And this will be our 5th season here at this location.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and bringing that holiday cheer to our community and area. It's just, like I said, it's officially the holiday season when you see the lights, but also when you drive past the tree farm. So I want to talk to you about this process. Can you just describe the process of harvesting and transporting these Christmas trees from your farm all the way to our retail lot in Keego Harbor?
Well, the process starts early summer with trimming the trees, and then late summer we tag the trees. Then there's some trees that require some artificial paint, color decorant, because they will turn yellow if you don't do that, just because of the fall harvest time. The trees lose their summer luster, so you have to spray the trees. Not all trees, all the fir trees are all natural. But then it's a matter of cutting the trees, budding the trees, dragging the trees, baling the trees, hauling the trees, loading the trees, and then loading them again onto a semi. Once they're loaded on the semi, they come down to the location here. We offload and set them up for display for all the local people to purchase.
Love that. I didn't know, so I would imagine there's a long time for these trees to go through that process. I would think it would go even earlier than the summer, but starting from the summer, like you said, identifying them, tagging them, treating them, and doing things like that to make sure that they're properly prepared for this upcoming holiday season. I love to see that and to hear that also. Yes, I love that. So there's obviously different types of trees also. Can we get into that also? How do you decide the different types of trees that you want to not only choose to harvest, but also bring to your tree farm?
Well, it's all about climate. That's going to determine what variety of trees that I can plant on the farm. We can plant several different types of fir trees, Fraser fir, balsam fir, Douglas fir. Unfortunately, there's a few of the hybrid ones, are like the concolor fir, and that we just can't grow up there because what happens is the trees bud out really early in the season, and being in northern Michigan, we always get a late frost, and that kills all the new growth that had sprouted, and you just get a 6-foot tree with about a 12-inch stump by the time it's ready to harvest. So it's not practical. Yeah, so we grow Scotch pine, white pine, Fraser fir, balsam fir, Canaan, and Fraser. So we have a nice selection of trees that we can grow in our neck of the woods.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like that. I want to break that down a little bit more with you real quick since we have you on here. But with us right here, live on the Splash, owner of Tribe & Trees, Mr. Dan Tribe, talking about holiday season and as they are preparing to open up shop right here in Keego Harbor at Orchard Lake Schools on Orchard Lake Road and Commerce. So I want to ask you, from any recommendations or anything common in regards to people requesting trees, can you just break down the types of trees and what's best for different homes or occasions or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, there's certain varieties, and we always educate our customers when they come in to look at trees. If they're going to be putting a tree up early and they want it for the Thanksgiving holiday, we recommend a Fraser fir or balsam fir, a white pine. Their needle retention will last up into the new year. As long as you keep it watered, and that's another thing we educate on. You need to water the tree morning and night. You need to check it twice a day, especially when you first introduce that tree into the home. It's really going to take up the moisture right away. And also, it depends on when the trees are harvested, too, and how fresh they are. And these trees are going to be about as fresh as we've had in a long time, because we just finished the harvesting 2 days before we came down. So we're getting a nice fresh tree. And a fresh cut on the bottom of the tree, which is what we provide here. If customers going to be putting the tree up right away in the home, you need to get the tree up within the first couple hours after giving it a fresh cut. And that opens up the pores in the tree so the tree can hydrate itself. If not, the sap on the bottom of the tree will seal off and it will not take up the water. So that's very important. A fresh cut, and that's the service we provide here to all our customers before they leave the lot.
I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. You really dropped some knowledge. I'm thinking just grab the tree, put it in there. It's already cut. It doesn't need water. But, yes, you still have to water your tree, like you said, at least twice a day, day and night, those type of things for the longevity of it. Hey, Dan, I appreciate your time. Don't want to hold you up. I do have at least one more question for you. This is just coming from me. What happens to the trees after the holiday season? If you do have any excess trees, what happens to those trees?
Well, a lot of the local of your city services, they'll send them to a compost and they'll grind them up into mulch, and they'll provide another service to the world as a mulch.
Okay.
I don't offer that service personally because
Right.
I'm not here at that time. I'm back north, but a lot of times that's what you're going to do with them. So that's my recommendation, anyways.
Right.
Turn them into a recycling center.
Right. And by the way, in our ear, real quick, our producer says you kind of resemble Dan Campbell. Do you ever get that, especially during the Lions season, Dan Campbell?
No, I don't.
They got the graphic ready. Okay. Hey, well, either way it go, we appreciate you. Yes, go Lions. And thank you for bringing that holiday cheer to our Greater West Bloomfield community. Once again, owner of Triben Trees, Dan Triben, we appreciate you for your time.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Our producer's working hard to make sure we have a good laugh also. And make sure you stop by Triben Trees in Kego Harbor on the corner of Orchard Lake Road and Commerce and grab your tree as soon as they open up as well. And by the way, Oakland County is seeking a community, or actually creating, I should say, a community transport plan, also known as CTP. It's created to enhance local public transportation by evaluating current conditions, adapting industry best practices, and incorporating resident and stakeholder input. That's the main purpose of it. So actually joining me right here live on the Splash to give out the details of, we have manager of the Oakland County Transit Division, Eli Cooper, with us. Thank you for being here, Eli.
Good morning. It's great to be with you. Thank you. And let me start off by saying happy Thanksgiving to your viewing audience.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. We are all in the holiday season now. So we want to inquire about this CTP, Community Transit Plan. Let's start off. What inspired the development of the CTP?
So as your viewers may know, in November of 22, the county voters passed the transit millage. And this is the first countywide transit millage. And we had to figure out what type of services to deliver on a countywide basis. So the inspiration was based on the need that we have a new program, and we wanted to make sure that the services we develop are targeted to the communities that we're serving.
Interesting. Okay. So with that being said, how do you envision this CTP, this community transit plan, actually addressing the current gaps within the Oakland County transit services?
So we're learning the gaps through the survey process. We're listening to our riders. We're listening to residents in the county who are completing the survey. And then once we understand what the issues are, we're going to develop programs to respond to what those needs are. Things like coordinating service across the county.
Okay. So I would imagine you're already getting responses in for the survey. You're starting to see, observe, and evaluate some of those. With that being said, is there a difference between what you all hope to learn from some of these responses and what you are actually learning? And if so, what is that difference?
So it's premature to get into all of the detail because the survey is still ongoing and we've got over 600 responses. What we're hoping to learn is to hear from both riders and residents to see where the gaps are. And at this point, it's too early to tell, but as we identify those gaps, we're going to design solutions to meet them.
Perfect. And with us right here, live on the Splash, manager for the Oakland County Transit Division, Eli Cooper, talking about the new Community Transit Plan, also known as CTP, to enhance local public transportation by taking in some input from not only the stakeholders, but local residents as well. Are there any challenges that Oakland County faces in expanding or enhancing transit services?
So as we came into this, there were 4 small transit operations that served select groups of communities. One of the big challenges was to create a countywide service system. So just the physical growth and outreach of those providers to communities like the city of Novi that weren't part of a county program. That was one of the big challenges. We've been working over the last year and a half, have acquired transit vehicles for these operators. They've been staffing up, and it's a good partnership with organizations like West Oakland Transportation, People's Express, North Oakland Transportation Authority. It's really wonderful to be working with great local partners.
Great. I'm always happy to hear that there's a community involvement thing going on with other organizations pitching in to help things make things a lot easier and more efficient for people right here in our residents in Oakland County. How will this community transit plan address specific populations within Oakland County, such as seniors who take up a great population right here in West Bloomfield?
Yeah, so appreciate the question. One of the good things for us in the 21st century is we have data that's specific to each of these stakeholder groups. So we have population based on age. We have information from the healthcare community as far as areas with a high percentage of people with disability. And what we're doing is we're trying to more specifically understand where the demands are from those specific groups. And then we're looking at designing services. Like the picture of the vehicle, I think the important piece to note, particularly for seniors or individuals with disability, those transit vehicles are all ADA accessible, meaning they have wheelchair lifts or ramps. There's tie downs. So whether a person can just board on a vehicle walking in, or if they have to roll on in a wheelchair, the system, the services are being designed. And the survey will give us, and the information will give us an idea of how much of our fleet we need to allocate to which areas so that it can meet the specific needs of that target population.
Great, great. Using your research and your data, evaluating, measuring, and then actually implementing that plan. I love that you're very, very careful in that process. I would love to ask, because of the fact that transportation for us individually is very, very necessary. But can you speak in what ways could public transportation impact economic development and quality of life, not only in Oakland County, but greater West Bloomfield?
Well, and again, whether it's West Bloomfield or greater Oakland County, the ability to get to a job is difficult because the relationship of where you might live and where you may work. So public transportation can close that gap if you don't have a reliable means of private transportation, a car. So in terms of economic development, the first thing is to get workers to their jobs. The other piece is that some of our transit services bring shoppers to commercial centers. So again, in terms of supporting economic development, the additional shoppers spending more money in our local stores is another economic development attribute. And I need to say that when I look across the county with the 100 vehicles we've purchased over the last 2 years and 150 plus new staff at the actual transportation authorities, that also is adding to the quality of life and a livelihood for a large number of all Oakland County residents.
Yes, good point. If you're watching on CivicCenterTV.com, we had that QR code up. Make sure when next time you see it, you take your smartphone, your camera, open it up, and you scan that QR code for access to that survey. But I'm glad you spoke on that too, the economic development important, because we saw how important public transportation was even during Election Day, and how they were offering free rides to get people to where they need to go to make sure they voted at the right district and poll. So we appreciate all of your effort and your work. Once again, Eli, is there any additional information that we should know in regards to this survey or just the Oakland County Transit Division before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll just give my office number, which is the Oakland County Transit number, 248-975-9876. And the county website is a great place to access the survey. We've always, as they used to say in the old days, we've got our ears on. We're listening. Folks can call me. I'll repeat it again, 248-975-9876. Reach out. Let us know what your needs are. Let us know how we can make transit services better. And we'll continue to work as a county and with our local operators to provide the highest level of transit services that our residents and constituents anticipate.
Essentially, that's what it's all about. When we appreciate your time and your information. Once again, from the Oakland County Transit Division Manager, Eli Cooper. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Great information to utilize if you do have a voice in regards to this public transportation in Oakland County or greater West Bloomfield. That is your greatest opportunity. oakgov.info/. transit survey. Thank you for our producers providing that. And make sure you keep up with everything Civic Center TV on all of our websites and social media. Civic Center TV 15 on Facebook, and you can take your smartphone and scan that QR code if you're watching on Civic Center TV. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Per usual, we are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.